Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my Canon. Ooh, actually the lighting is better here. So today's video, excuse the no makeup face. I've been cleaning all day. I actually just finished cleaning Leilani's room. I cleaned out all of her closet. I'm gonna show you guys really quick, even though this is not like a cleaning video, but her room looks so much better. I'm actually planning on redoing her bedroom, but this is her current bedroom, which is LOL themed, and I cleaned out her closet. So I've just been super proactive, like yay, go me. But today's video is actually going to be a cooking video. You guys have been asking me to do cooking videos for a very long time, and I don't know why I never did. So today, my hair looks so crazy. Today I wanted to do or show you guys how I make tinga. Tinga, I believe, is a Mexican dish. I could be totally wrong, but it is one of my favorite dishes. It is easy, it is simple, it is delicious, it is filling, and there's so many ways you can eat it. So if you guys want to learn how to make tinga, then let's go downstairs and I'm going to show you what you guys need. So these are the ingredients you guys are going to need. You're going to need chicken breast. I have a 3-piece chicken breast. I'm actually just going to eat 2 because it's just me, Brian, and Lonnie. You're also going to need a can of chipotle. I love chipotle with this because it just adds a little bit of spice, but it's not crazy spicy. Even if you don't eat spicy food at all, like, this isn't going to be too bad for you because we're actually going to add 1 tomato. The tomato is going to bring down like the spiciness of the chipotle because Lonnie is eating and she's little. She doesn't need that much chile. We're also going to need an onion. Now the onion is optional because this is going to go in first and you're going to add your shredded chicken. But I personally like onion, and honestly, once you cook it, like, you can't taste the onion. You can see it, but you just can't taste it. You're also going to need some tostadas. I love these, the Guerrero brand. And then I'm also going to use some sour cream and some lettuce. This is like freshly picked lettuce, so I'm just going to like chop this up. You can also just buy the shredded lettuce, but that's pretty much the main things that you need. What we're gonna do first is get our chicken clean, and then we're going to boil it. Okay, so I added my chicken. Again, I just added 2 chicken breasts. Add as much or as little as you want, depending on the size of your family. But since we're going to shred the chicken, usually 2 should be enough to feed a family of like 4, maybe 5. So what I did is I just, like I said, added the chicken, and then I added water, just enough to cover the chicken. I always like to add consomme, which is like the bouillon cubes, just to give the water a little bit of flavor, and so the chicken can get a little bit of flavor. You don't have to do that. You can just add salt. I also like to add 1 bay leaf and then half of an onion. Again, this is just to give the soup itself a flavor, so the chicken can get a little bit of flavor. But you guys know that chicken breast tends to be pretty dry, so we're just gonna let this boil for about half an hour. That's usually how long 2 chicken breasts take to boil, 30-35 minutes. Once that is boiled, we're going to shred the chicken, and then I'm going to show you guys what else you can use. Again, it just depends on how you're going to prepare it. I'm going to eat it with tostadas, so let's go ahead and let this boil, and then we can move on to the next step. So while my chicken is boiling, I'm actually going to cut up my onion. I'm sorry if the lighting is horrible. I don't have much lighting here in my kitchen. So again, this is a part where you can either choose to add or not add onion. I personally love onion, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it into like feather-like, what's it called? Pieces. And honestly, the thinner that you cut it, the thinner the onion is going to look in your chicken, and the less you're going to have to see it if you're not a big onion person. But again, since it's optional, you don't have to add it. So that is the onion that I'm adding, and I'm not adding too much because I'm adding 2 whole chicken breasts. So yep, that is what we're gonna add. We're just gonna put this to the side and keep waiting for our chicken to finish boiling. Okay, you guys, so the chicken is done boiling. Don't throw the little like broth away because we might use that to help us blend the chipotle. I have my chicken here. I am getting ready to just shred it. If you guys have like those handheld blenders, it is so much easier to just like blend it really quick. I don't have one, so I kind of have to do it by hand. I added my tomato. I did throw it in the broth while it was super hot. I let it boil for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes just so the blending process can be a little bit easier. Now all I'm gonna do is add my can of chipotle. And yes, those are Legos. Like I said, I was cleaning out Lonnie's bedroom and I found a bunch of them and I just sanitized them and cleaned them so I can give them to my sister. But anyways, yeah, just get all your chipotle out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab about that much of broth, just a little bit, to add it into my blender. And then you just wanna blend this until everything is smooth. Okay, so now that the sauce is done, I am going to preheat my, what do you call this? My sartén. I don't know how you call this in English. I totally had a brain fart. I'm going to preheat it to about medium temp, and then I'm going to add a little bit of oil. This is just classic olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I'm only going to add a little bit. I usually don't like to cook with tons of oil. Once that is nice and preheated, we're going to add our onions in, and we're going to let that cook for a while so they can get a little bit caramelized and you don't taste like the real soury taste of onions. Now I'm gonna add my onions. You don't want your pan to be too hot, but you don't want it to be cold either. So I'm just gonna add the onions, and we're probably gonna let this cook for like 5 or 7 minutes, or until the onions are transparent or translucent and you don't see the color anymore. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to them, just a little bit, just so they can grab the flavor. And then I love adding black pepper to everything, so I'm just going to add a little bit of black pepper. Okay, so this is what the onion is looking like. It is really caramelized. So now I'm just going to add all my chicken in. And like I said, because it's shredded, you make a ton. This is only 2 chicken breasts. And then I'm going to use some of the broth, just a little bit. Put some in. I am going to add a little bit more of chicken bouillon flavor, because chicken breast just tends to be very dry and you don't get tons of flavor from it. But you can just add salt. But I love this stuff. It is a little bit salty, so just kind of be aware. So once you have all that, then you want to go ahead and add your chipotle sauce. And you want to add all of it in. I'm going to use some more of the broth so that I make sure that I use all of the chipotle sauce that is in there. That. Then again, you just want to mix it all together, and I'm gonna let this boil for about 15 minutes just to make sure that the chicken really grabs onto the flavor of the chipotle sauce, and just so everything is nice and cooked. So we're gonna let this simmer for 15 minutes. You can put the lid on top. I usually do, just so it doesn't like go everywhere, and then we can just make our plate. Okay, so my chicken is ready. I have my tostada. I am going to grab some sour cream, and I'm just going to spread it all over my tostada. You can also add beans. That tastes really, really good. I have some beans, but I was just too lazy to cook them, so I'm just gonna eat them like this. And either way, this is so filling. And then I'm gonna use some of these tongs to grab my chicken And I'm just going to lay it on the top. It is pretty hot still, but I am starving. So this is what the chicken will look like. It is so yummy, you guys. Oh my god, I wish you can have a bite. And then I like lettuce on mine, so I'm just going to add a little bit of lettuce on the top. Okay, you guys, our food is ready. We're gonna do the little taste test. It might be a little bit hot. Grab your tostada. Nani likes hers. She usually likes lettuce, but I just made her with no lettuce. So let's try it.
Is there chili in this?
A little bit. It's not too spicy though. Maybe for kids it might be, but she eats hot Cheetos and Takis, so this is so good. You can also add queso fresco. I don't have any and I can't eat any while I'm pregnant, but you can add cotija cheese, whatever you want. These are so good, you guys. I hope you guys try this recipe, and if you guys want to see more cooking videos, definitely let me know, and what other recipes you guys want to see, because now that we're in quarantine, I've been doing a lot of home cooking. So if you do try out this recipe, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and
subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.